Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time we have unboxing of this special edition device from REDMAGIC. We are talking about the REDMAGIC 8S Pro Plus Bumblebee Edition. Let's get started. This time I had to go through customs, that's why it comes a little bit open. But anyway, let's get all this stuff out of the box. I remind you that this edition is only distributed in China. It doesn't have a global version, but let's take a look at it. As you can see, we have here a pretty wide, very large box with a very different format because it's a collector's edition. We have then a lot of Transformers theming all around the box, which I think fans will undoubtedly get very excited to see each of these little details. Let's uncover it so you can see that it's not just the box that comes customized, but also each of the accessories that are included. For starters, we have on this side this pin that you can put on your backpack or somewhere else. It's a very nicely designed metal pin as well. But they also include us accessories focused on gaming, which is the main purpose of this smartphone. We have this fan that we can stick on the back of the cell phone to cool it perfectly well. And it also comes customized with everything to do with Transformers and Bumblebee. It's going to connect through a USB-C port so it can be running. And they also include us the custom cable in yellow with USB-C on both ends. And we have another cable, also USB-C, on both sides to connect the fan. The two cables seem to me to be of the same quality, just change the color. And finally, it seems that the charger will come, which in this edition sold in China is an even more powerful charger. It also comes customized with all the yellow color of Bumblebee. We have here all the Transformers images and the USB-C port. As you notice, it's a very large dimension charger compared to other chargers, but it's also very powerful. 165 watts of power. I believe this device will charge in just a few minutes. Definitely the fastest charging on the market, I think. But what do you say we do a test later and upload the video? Let's keep pulling out the contents of the box. We've got nothing but quick info and the case that comes with this magnet so you can stick the fan on. And finally, we have here the key to remove the tray. It's time to take out the cell phone. I've got it with me here. Let me just put it all away and we'll take a look at it straight away. Here is this new edition that, as you will notice, has the same design line in terms of customization as the previous generation, but with the change that we had already seen between this, which was the 7S, and now that we moved to the 8S. The design change was to go from these curved lines that had long remained in REDMAGIC to this finish with much straighter lines. But the customization that has to do with Bumblebee is similar, with a black stripe down the center, although a bit more simplified as well, slightly minimalist. In both cases, it has the fan completely in view so you can show off those RGB lights. Let me turn it on and we'll see more details. I also have the REDMAGIC 8S Pro with me, but in this case it's the Pro Plus model, although it's also not... Oops, how loud it sounds. I was telling you that we won't see a substantial improvement between the Pro model and the Pro Plus model either. In a moment I will tell you about their differences. Already configured is this equipment that is going to integrate a 6.8-inch AMOLED screen, just like the Pro model. We have 120 Hz in its refresh rate to show very fluid movements. Of course compatible with several games that can also run up to that frequency. As you notice, It has a camera underneath the screen, which gives it the ability to display a content without any interruption, so its clock frequency goes up to 3.36 GHz. The underscreen camera has a resolution of 16 megapixels, and on the back it has 50 megapixel main camera, then an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle, and finally a 2 megapixel macro camera, which I consider useless camera. But let's get down to first impressions. Here's a screenshot before we've taken the picture, so that you simply notice how it looks a bit cloudy due to the camera under the screen. After processing, it improves a little bit, but the shadow area, if you're backlit, comes out very pale because of the same processing that it does to try to improve the underscreen camera result. But the truth is that it comes out quite well. The result does not look bad unless you take pictures at night, because then it will suffer too much, as we saw in the review of the standard edition. Here I took another picture where I was testing this against the light. The truth is that it also looks good. Here I took the same picture but with the high resolution mode, so that we can notice that it does have a considerably high resolution that it manages to take advantage of in a good way. It is not going to be a specialist because, for example, in this case, you can see a little chromatic aberration on the edges or the edges of all these elements. But that's getting too picky, because remember that this device is not a specialist in photography, but it still seems to me that it takes good advantage of the zoom, which is at most 10x. Here we have a reference photograph. This is the photograph with the ultra-wide camera. And finally, this is a photograph with the main camera, and this is a photograph with the macro camera. In both cases, the color rendering was terrible because it should look green, and here it looks practically gray. But I insist, this device is not about the camera, but about the games. So let's turn on this switch and we will immediately access the console mode, where all the contents we have installed will appear. In this case, I only installed this soccer game. Let's open it so you can see more or less some of the special functions, because they will appear on this side, and here we have a lot of plugins that we can use to enhance our gaming experience. In fact, we also have here the different performance modes. We have an eco mode, which is going to save a little bit more power, or we have the rise mode, which is going to pretty much push the power to the max. Normally we are going to leave it in the balanced mode. Here on the right side we can change the style of the notifications so that they don't get in the way when we are playing. And of course we also have quick settings to a myriad of tools. We have different tools, like a data panel that will show us some information about the game, other tools of timers, or also an auxiliary to set a point and have a sight always present in shooting games. You can also record macros, many other things like repositioning the buttons if they don't fit comfortably. And on the right side we have some other settings. We can also raise the refresh rate of the screen. We can show more information about the frames per second at which the game is running. We can also turn the fan on or off, among other tools. But stop showing you if you didn't already know the triggers we have available here. Previously, I already positioned the buttons in this part so that I can make a pass with the left side and a shot with the right side. Then let's wait for the game to load and start. Then notice how this trigger does the same action as if I press this button. So it gives me a good response as I'm running all this content, and I'm going to shoot with this other trigger. I made a very soft shot, but in general that's what I want to show you, how easy it could be to play using these triggers. Not only in this content, but basically in any other content that you want. Also with this same button I'm switching players. And there it is. I'm going to score a goal just to make it very clear that I'm a very good player. There it is. Check it out. That's very good. Great goal. That's what you can achieve with these triggers. On this model, the battery is 5 milliamps as opposed to the Pro model where we have a larger battery. However, the battery still has a good capacity and it's probably a little lower density, so you can have a faster charge, which, as I was anticipating, is 165 watts. In fact, that's basically the only difference that we have between this Pro Plus model and the Pro model. But lastly, just out of curiosity, what do you say we run a benchmark to see how it does? The benchmark is now running. We'll be back in a moment to look at its score. For now, simply consider that it has the special edition Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor. The results are in 1,807 in a single core and 3,922 in multi-core. The truth does not seem so much power compared to what can offer us, for example, the Apple A17 Bionic. But probably this device is able to maintain a better temperature thanks to the integration of the fan that I mentioned. So we could get to have much more stable games when playing. For the moment, this has been all about this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, you know you can let me know. And we'll see you next time.